my video just it blew up overnight. We got over 18 million views, which was insane. I
That's so
started
many.
getting, yes, it was. I was sending my mom like screenshots of like the views, and I was like, oh, it's going up. It was like 10,000, and then it's 100,000. And then I'm like, wouldn't it be so cool if I hit 1 million? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, I hit 1 million. And then it just kept going. And I'm like, I don't know when it's going to stop.
That's so exciting.
Yes, it was really a cool thing. I met a lot of people through it, because people from all over were calling me and asking about cows and
How
everything. So
awesome.
it was super cool. So with that, I was really able to grow my business. I started adding more and more and more, and we just started with a few, and now we're upwards to about 50 now.
So dad's
And
like fully on board, right?
yeah, oh yeah, Dad was as soon as that started, he was like, "Okay, I think you could do this." I mean, before I kind of wanted to keep them all, so but
S-
I realized after he was like, I think this is good. I'm like, he's like, "You're doing better than my commercial Angus."
Right? That's awesome. So when you got your first couple, did you buy calves or did you go and buy cows and bulls stuff already started?
I got a little starter herd, but they were just calves. So I had still a little bit of time with them. I worked with them, and they're all like big giant puppy dogs. They still are.
That's
Let me
awesome.
go lay on them in the pastures, and yeah.
I love that. Back to you started out with your little starter herd. So what did you have in your
Yes.
starter herd?
I just started off with I had 3 heifers and a bull. That was mainly how I started. Nothing too big. I was still in school and working with them, so just a couple to start, and then they had calves from there, and then I just
Did you get minis or did you dabble in the chondro gene during that time or
yeah. So I actually my bull was chondro positive. We didn't know at the time. I bought him. They hadn't tested him previously, but
Mhm.
later when we did test him, he was positive. And then my other one was mid-size, and then I got another micro. So I kind of had or two mid-size and a micro. So I kind of had a little bit of everything for sizing. So got to see a little bit of all of it, I guess, at the beginning.
That's exciting. And are
Yes.
they were they Highlands or did you get into some high parks or did you do other
Yes.
crosses?
So all of them were Highlands besides one. I had a High Park. And
I
yeah,
love the high parks.
I do too. They're so sweet. And she's the tiniest little thing. And I just love her.
That's awesome. So you started growing and dad was like all full steam ahead kind of deal?
Yes, yeah. So he was like, "You know what? I think we can do this." I told him, I said, I think it's the time." And he said the same thing. So he's always been very supportive, but after that he knew that's what I wanted to do. And then I just got married about 8 months ago. And so my all the cows, Dad's like, you can take this, and you and your husband, and you guys can do this and together. Um
That's so
and so now,
exciting.
yeah, so now we do it together, and it was really cool, and we've grown more since they've been at our place too. And but he's always, yeah, been so supportive and on
What a
board
great
to help
start.
me. Yes.
What a great start. That's awesome. So what's your goals in the future with your program look like? Are you looking to add more or
Yeah, yeah. So really my goals are to expand. But not only that, I want to start more of getting my herd smaller. I like the minis, and
Mhm.
that's what a lot of people are into. I raise a little bit of everything, like I said from the beginning. I still kind of, even as I was growing, I still had a little bit of everything. I would get micros, I would get minis, and I would get
Mhm.
mid-size. So I like them all. I mean, I still will probably end up having, a little bit of a mixture, but I really want to downsize with the I got the size.
Like physically downsize, not
Physically the size, yeah,
yes.
not actually increase the herd size, but
Downsize. I
downsize
agree.
their size.
That is kind of where I'm at with it too. So I feel like what you're talking about 100%. I'm like you, and we got into it and we bought some calves, and I had some high parks and then some pure Highlands.
Mhm.
And we just have kind of picked up here and there. And I've added some color of different things to kind of just see like what we're going to get. I have a couple really nice non-chondro bulls. So I was like, well, I got to have girls for them to keep that chondro.
Uh-huh.
So I got some chondro girls. And then, oh man, I get a lot of crap for this from like Jason's family was just here this weekend, my husband's family, and I have all these segregation, like I have all these pins, and they're like,
Yes.
"Oh my gosh!" Like I was like, we got a fall set, and then we got a spring set. I was like, but then we have our non-chondro girls and our chondro girls, so then we got different
Yes.
bowls, and then I don't know if you do any AIing, but we also like I went to school to do AIing. I'm not great. I have a lot to learn on it, but we have a good friend that comes over and AIs for us.
Uh-huh.
And so like then it's like, okay, we have to AI group and then we put a bowl in, and it is just like a shuffle constantly of everything.
Right. I do gotta say that is one of the more tricky things when you do natural and then you got a bull here and a bull there and chondro girls here and non-chondro. So I'm like,
Yes.
I need some more pasture.
Yes, exactly. That's where I'm at. Like I need some better pins. I was like, what if we just did the hay field into like four big pins, and then we could just do and have it all like
Right?
that. And my husband's like, that's the hay field. Like, we don't need to do that. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from because I would like
Yes.
to get some more that are the smaller and keep that hair and
Yes, yes. And the hair is a big thing too, I guess I would say, because there's so many out there, but then you can definitely see breeding different, genetics. You got a lot more a lot more hair on them, which a lot of the people like too.
right. It is definitely a selling point. Even
Yes.
for like the agritourism kind of deal where everyone's doing that, like you still want those like fluffier calves that are higher percent Highland and but staying small so they can do that.
Right.
Are you planning on doing any of the agritourism or anything like that?
I'm not familiar with it really, honestly.
We have gone back and forth. We have a spot at our gas station that like we have tourism that goes right there with Fort Robinson. My
Oh,
husband has
okay.
gone back and forth about we should really set something up for the summertime and
Uh-huh.
bring in some of the cows, and then we got our mini donkeys and little goats and
Right.
all that kind of thing.
Yes.
But so we don't have time for I keep telling you I don't have time. Like
Yes.
I get to hire someone to come work with me, then that would be different.
Yes, no. I've always thought about doing more events and stuff, with the cattle or just having people out because there's so many people who ask, but I just don't advertise it. And I do a little bit here and there, but not a whole ton yet. But it is something that I'm looking to do more so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you got a huge following, so I imagine are you close, like, to a city then, where it would be nice for, like,
N-
city folks to come out, or
Not really. I mean, like the biggest town or city, I guess you would say, would be Peoria.
Gotcha.
So it's bigger, but other than that, we're pretty rural, but I've still had quite a few people ask that just they want to travel. And
That's
so
awesome.
I think there would still be a little niche, but I don't know. I just haven't explored that yet, I guess.
Gotcha. It sounds stressful to me.
Me
To,
too.
like to get
There's a
them all
lot of
clean
things.
and, like, all the
Yes.
things,
There's a
and
lot of
God
things that
forbid
go
something
into it.
happen.
I
Yes.
know. That's my biggest thing. I'm like, "Oh, well," and then I'm like, "You just watch your toes. They're very friendly. They're
Yes.
you
They
watch your
have
toes."
horns, and, like, that is a thing.
They're so friendly and I know they want to be in your face and they don't know personal space. So
Yep. Those cows that are like that, my donkeys are like that, and I love them for it, but we'll have people over and kids over, and, like, my little boys go in with our little mini donkeys all the time,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Don't run." Like, I've never had a problem with them ever kicking, biting, or anything. Like, just don't run, And then
Right.
when we have others over or kids over and they're just running around crazy, and I'm like, ah, you can't do that.
I know. I know, and it scares yeah, with bigger groups, that always makes me nervous. I'm like, "Look,
Yes.
here." I'm like, "I swear, they're all tame," but
Yes. Just don't make them mad. Don't scare them. They
right.
are animals.
Yes, yes, yes. I
People
fully
forget that, I
agree.
think,
I
sometimes.
agree, yeah, they're like, "Can I go on them?" I mean, I go lay on them in the pasture, but they know me.
And you agree. I mean, I don't know about you, but, like, if I bring someone new and to, like, walk around the herd with them, right? Like, these
Mhm.
cows are normally, like, head down, eating, no problem whatsoever. Like, they ignore me. I can walk right up to them. But if they see someone else, like, their heads are up and, like, they're totally alert of what's going on. And
Right?
I would Jason's cousin was here, and I was like, "He's a cowboy." And I was like, they know that you're different out here." And he's like,
Mhm.
"Ah, no, they don't. I've been around cows forever." And I was like, "They don't act like that when I'm out here."
I had a lady come out and she was wearing a dress. And I'm like, I don't really wear dresses. So the cows were like they were pulling on her dress one way and the
Oh,
other way. And I'm like,
no.
I'm so sorry. I'm like, they've never seen me in a dress before.
You're gonna have to go out and lay with the cows in a
Yeah.
dress. Get
Yes,
them
right. That's
accustomed
my
to
intent.
it.
Yeah. I gotta get them, so they know what it's like.
What is something, this is kind of our thing here, is what is something you wish you would have known or done differently when you first got started? Like maybe it's a hard lesson or just anything in general.
I wish I would I guess, I've learned a lot. I've done some, like, bottle calves,
Hmm.
and I've learned a lot through them. I wish I would have known, I guess, all the different steps you have to take with them because there's a lot more than what it just seems like making their bottle, doing
Hmm.
there's a lot more steps. And I feel like it's a lot harder to raise, bottle calves. That's what a lot of people want. I feel I do raise them on the cow, but there was times, I'd get a couple bottle calves and I'd raise them up. But there's just a lot more, I guess, steps in it, and there's so many things you have to be careful for, like diseases and stuff like that they can get, and you just have to be really quick to it. You know your cattle, and I feel like at the beginning, I would second guess myself. Is I'm like, oh well, they look like they're being like I'm noticing a little bit something different, but you'll check. We'll see tomorrow. Like
Uh-huh.
make sure, see if they're getting better. But y- don't second guess yourself because really, you know how they act, you know what they do, you know how they eat.
Yep.
If you notice anything different, you need to be right on it. And if you are, I that helps 100% because I feel
Agreed.
like so many producers and like the experienced ones obviously have probably learned the same thing. But people starting off, you're just like, oh, okay, well, it's a little bit different than they were yesterday. Maybe they're a little bit more sluggish or they have a little bit of a cough. But it's just like, okay, let's wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think you always want to be very cautious and just get right on it no matter what it is. Even the smallest things can be prevented as long as you're really paying attention.
I agree. And that goes with like any animals on your farm, really.
Yeah.
I 1,000% agree with that. I just ran into that again with my little donkeys, and it was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, my second guessing. That is like you've nailed it. The whole second guessing yourself. Like once you start doing it and you know like that little bit off, figure it out,
Right.
right?
and
Figure
and
out
I
how
mean,
you can treat it, what you can do to just
yes, I
yeah.
think it's still a thing that I mean, even people who are in it forever, because even still now, I have times where I'm like, okay, well, it's not that bad, but I'll see tomorrow, and it's like, "Ah, I should have just done it. I should have just done it. It would have been better, and then you don't have the trouble.
So, okay, how long have you been doing it now? You said 8th grade.
It's been about 7 years almost.
7 years in it. So,
Yeah.
you have seen the industry kind of change on things.
Yes.
What would be your
Yes.
opinion or what are the big changes that you see going on in it?
I would say the big changes or the biggest changes that I've seen is just the popularity, the price,
Yeah.
and availability is I guess I guess they weren't I mean, when I started, they're still not very I mean, they weren't very available. There's people that do them just for fun and stuff like that, but to get you have to really look at those breeders that are doing it all the time and that. But I think yeah, I think the market is just that's the biggest thing. That has changed drastically within the past couple of years. Now they're doing the online auctions, and I think that's met a whole new crowd of people, which
Mhm.
is just awesome because I mean, people all over the world can, experience it. But I definitely that's changed the market. It's made it higher, a little bit more challenging for people who are trying to grow their business. I mean, in the turning, going to sell them, it's nice for the producer as well. So there's little things to each of it, I guess.
So do you do just private sales with your calves in, or have you
I
got
do
onto it?
just I have not yet, but and I like private sales because I like the personal connection
Mhm.
with the buyer, and I like to know, who they're going to and everything. But I can't say it's not something I'll do because to be able to reach more people is always a really cool thing, and there still can be some sort of personal connection through online. You might it just would be afterwards,
Right.
you get in touch with the people, and so I it's definitely something I want to explore, and I think it will be sooner probably than later, just because I think that market's kind of taken over. I think the online is doing very, very well. And then it's harder for the personal sales.
I think so. Lori and I have been doing a couple now sales
Hmm.
and the online, I should say. And my husband loves it. Like he's like
Yeah.
all gun ho about the online sales. I go back and forth because like you, I agree on it's nice to get to know where they're going and things. But I will say like through the online sales, you still get to know them, especially like depends on when you're putting those calves on, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're putting those calves on and they're still going to be with you for 2, 3, 4 more months, however long that is, you have that time to build that connection with others, which is really nice. And I feel like you can also feel that out. Like when you do the online auctions, like there's some times where if you did get a bad seed kind of deal, I would say back out is kind of the wrong term on it, or figure something else out if you have a problem with things like that. So that
Yeah.
still is open, like, because they're still
Yeah.
your cattle and it's an option you, I guess, hold when
Right.
you do that online. But I see the back and forth on it and the
Yeah.
private sales,
Yeah.
but
I was just thinking it's just such a toss up. It's, is one better than the other? I don't know. But I think, like I said before, you just reach more people.
and even like as a buyer, like if there is something specific you're looking for too, that's also nice. I feel like if I'm looking for this certain high park for say, right? Because I like high
Hmm.
parks. If I'm wanting this super fluffy one, like I know my price point on it and I can go out and I can look. And then if it hits past my price point, okay, that's fine. I'll keep looking. And you get to see them that way
Right.
too, which is nice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very different. That's for sure from
Yes.
what it started.
I totally agree. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it before was just people, getting started. So, they may not have been now I know they're getting more pure Highlands too, or not fully pure, but getting more Highland in them. Uh
Yeah. The high percent
Getting that
Highlands.
hair.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, getting that hair and everything too. But yeah, before I think they're just basically was everyone's just trying to shrink everything down. We want small cows.
Yes. So is there a color you think like so we have high parks. High parks aren't going anywhere, right? Is there a color in the Highland mini Highlands, like shrinking them down, like you just said, you think is here to stay or is gonna grow?
Get or you mean What exactly do you mean by
Okay,
that?
so, Lori called them, Shortlanders, right? Or the bringing in
Yes.
the roan
Okay,
or
yes,
bringing in the
that's kinda what
belteds,
I
that
was
kinda thing.
thinking.
Yes.
I heard, or I've seen the roan, and I think that's something that more people are going to expand on for sure. Because getting that everyone likes the Highlands, but, the different every it seems if they have a spot or they have something special, then people
Mhm,
really want them. So I definitely think that that roan coloring and, I know they do, like, Panlanders,
mhm.
and they get the extra, extra, extra fluff.
Yes.
So I feel like that and yeah, definitely anything bringing in the color, but I know the roan is pretty popular
So do you have
now.
other colors in your herd then? Like, do you
I do
have
have
any
I have
belted or
quite a
anything?
few. I don't well, more of the Hyde Parks, different colored kinda Hyde Parks. I have the reds um, and then with the black ears and the dark brown and but they're also a little bit spotty too, a little bit.
Awesome.
So, but other than that is mainly, I guess, mainly solid. I kinda tried to get the High Parks to get more color in, so I'm waiting for the calves. I got quite a few, I guess, that will be coming up.
That's exciting. When do you start calving?
Yes. I usually do March, April. So,
Gotcha.
yes.
So you got
I'll
one
have a
calving
couple
season.
later.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes. Well, next year might be too. I'm kind of waiting and deciding maybe I'm gonna get another bull. I don't know.
That's awesome. I like personally the fall calving. My husband likes more so spring, but it gets hot here, or I feel like I'd rather it get cold when calving if it's not too cold. But you
Right.
just never know here with Nebraska weather what we're gonna have. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
my dad always did January and February, and he said, it gets you out of bed in the winter time. So it was always cold, and I'm like, I had my first calf. It would have been when I first started. It was like summertime, and I was like, oh, this is nice. But obviously more flies and stuff like that. But with just a few, there wasn't as much of a. I was right on hands on them, so
Of course,
they
of
had a
course.
lot of attention. But now I like the March, April. It can be a little wet and that though, that's the only
Yeah. I saw on your Instagram a picture of a baby calf nursing a goat.
Oh, yes.
Oh, let's hear this
Yes.
story.
Well, okay. So yeah, I I got that. It was a pair, and
You
they
got him as a
told me
pair?
yes,
Oh
yes.
my
So they
gosh.
sold them as a little pair, and it came with the goat and the cow. And I was like, they told me they were like, oh, it's just it's you can milk you can do it as a bottle calf, or it'll drink the goat's milk. Well, I thought maybe even you milk the goat and put it in the bottle and give it to the calf. I did not see it. And then I brought it home and I was like, "What the heck? This is the sweetest thing
Oh my
ever."
goodness.
I'm like, "That she thought it was her baby. She took care of it. It was the best thing. It was the best thing ever. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen." But yeah, she knew that was her baby and the other cows would come up, but no one was going to be no one
How
else was
long
going to be drinking.
how long did she nurse that baby?
Well, he was a micro cab, so he was
Mhm,
very, very tiny.
mhm.
He actually got, I think he was about at least like 5 months. He
Oh,
was,
wow.
yeah, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head when I weaned him. But I kind of forgot how old he was because he's so tiny.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, geez, you are getting old.
And
I'm
she
gonna
just
have to
took
take
care of him like it was hers the whole
Oh,
time.
took care of him. She knew that was
Wow.
her baby, and anyone would anyone else would come by, she'd be like, "No, nope." She wasn't she's an old nanny goat, but I thought, the other calves might try, and she'd let them. She's like, "No, this is my baby. I know which one's mine."
That is so cool. I mean, you think about that. I have nursed cows. Like, I have some big Jerseys,
Yeah.
and like to feed them, right? It takes a lot because to keep that
Y-
maintenance up on them. I think
Yeah.
between like 2 jerseys, I have 6 calves, and they are amazing, worth their weight in gold. But can you imagine feeding a goat for
Yeah.
5 months and that goat like feeds this micro calf for you? Holy
Yeah,
cow.
yeah. He was literally, yeah, the smallest little thing, and I'm like I said, I was like, oh geez, you're getting older. We got,
That
you
is
know,
so
but you
cool.
forget with how small they are. But that mama, I still have her. Um,
Did you ever
she's the
let her
best. Like
breed her and let her take on another calf?
I didn't. I let her take her time after that because I'm like you did your work.
Yeah.
I said you're gonna stay here for a little bit, and she doesn't really like me. So we
Oh,
have, but I have this attachment to her because of what she did. So I was like, I think you got to stay around. So I really, really like her. She won't come by me, and I can't pet her, but I
that's
keep her
funny.
around.
Do you have other goats in?
Nope, she's the only one.
She's the only one. Oh,
Yep, her name's Mildred.
Mildred. Oh, Mildred.
Yes.
We have our little goats, and we talk about going viral. So I posted a video. I was driving out checking cows, and like my little goat herd, they're pygmies and Nigerian dwarfs.
Hmm.
And I had a really crappy mama sow. I have cooney pigs. And I had
Yes.
one, she's a milking nanny who had just kidded. And I had this baby pig that I had pulled off mom because sad story. She like squished the other ones and older. Like there was no reason other than she was just being like a horrible mom. And so we pulled him off and I was like, okay, what are we going to do with you? Like, we need someone to like mother you. And I stuck them together and I went out the next morning and they were in their like little hut. And out comes the mama goat, out comes the baby pig, and then out comes the baby goat. And they were just like this happy family. And so
Oh my
the goats are free
gosh.
ranging at our ranch, and he's with them all the time. Like I feed him separately. He'll come in the barn, he'll eat, and then he goes back out with them. But I was
Yeah.
out cruising the pasture, and the goats were out on the hayfield, which I mean, there's not much there. We're in a horrible drought. And I'm looking and I see him and I started videoing and it's the cutest video. The goats all come running. And if you look in the background, my little pig is back there and he's just like huffing it as hard as he possibly can to keep up with them. And yeah, I posted that one on Facebook and it's like, oh, I think I did about a week ago, if that. And we're at like, I think 5 million views is what we hit,
Oh my
which was like
gosh.
so
That's
cool. And it's like,
crazy.
it's one of those videos where, like, it's all good comments too, which is good. Like, I
Yes,
had another
yes.
one of that pig was also, like, scratching his butt on a salt block when we were out doing chores, like, he would walk
Yeah.
with me everywhere. He was in the donkey pen, and they just, like, were watching him. Oh my gosh, the comments you get on some of those videos. I was, like,
Yes.
having to monitor them, and it was getting to be
Yes.
a lot.
Yes, I never know, and I kind of stay away from the comment section.
Yeah.
I always like I think I have it where it's filtered so that kind of does it itself, but I'm like maybe I should look at that every now and then because I don't never I don't ever really look because I started to at first and I'm like geez this this can
Yeah.
be brutal.
Oh
And
gosh,
some of the
yeah.
stuff it's not about the cows. If I'm in the videos I'm like geez.
Oh
I
gosh,
was
yeah.
I'm like, I'm just trying to have some fun here.
Definitely stay away from them, but people
Yeah.
People are crazy. I had so many people like on the one where it's the cutest video. He's scratching his butt perfectly, like on the salt block, and everyone was a vet, it seemed like. And they're like, oh, yep, he's got worms. Oh, yep, poor
Oh,
pig. I had someone put on there, they're like, just so you know, a pig's genitalia is on their stomach, not on their back end. And I responded, this is probably too much, but um I took a picture of one of the boars because their balls are, on their back.
uh-huh.
And I responded it to her and I was like, well, here you go. This is where their balls are. So I have to watch
That's
myself on it because I get to be kind of a smart butt on it.
that's funny. I think if it was maybe some of my other family members, they would be a little more snippy on it. But I'm like And I always thought it was funny because I'd bring the calves in the house, and it was just, I mean, it was a short little time, but people are
Uh-huh.
like, "This is terrible. They're
Oh
not
my
living in the
gosh.
home." And I'm like, "Guys, they don't actually live in my house. Like it's just for a video and it's just funny." And but I'm like, "No, they don't really sleep in my bed. No, they don't really go in the bathtub. Like this is just every now and then just to,
They're super cute videos you
yeah,
have on it, and
just to get my parents, you know?
yeah, right? That would
Yeah.
be funny if my 6-year-old brought something in. They brought their turtle in the other night, but thankfully it hasn't been anything else too crazy.
The first time, I had a little, it was a bottle, a calf. It was an Angus, and the mama wasn't taking it. So I'm always the worst because I always tell my dad, I'm like, "Oh, it's gotta be a bottle baby. It's gotta be a bottle baby, right?" And he's like, "You don't want bottle babies." And I'm like, "I know, but I do."
Right?
And so I took the calf, and he called me, and he needed my help, and I didn't know. So I was already in the shower with the cow. I brought the cow in the shower. I was like, "He's dirty. I need to clean him up." And obviously, he left a present right inside the door. And I was like, and my mom's like looking at me. She's like, "What are you doing?" And then but that was after. She didn't even know I was in the house until she heard the shower running. And she goes, "What are you doing in there?" And I'm laughing hysterically. And my mom peeks in the door, and it's me in a swimsuit with the calf just in the shower,
Oh,
just
man.
spraying him down. And I'm like, "He really likes it." And my mom's like, "What is wrong with you?"
Oh, man. That's gonna be one of my boys, I know it.
Yep.
I can see it now.
And then and then he called me, and like, I answered, and I'm like, "Oh, I'll be there really quick." So I'm like blow drying him. I put him back in the barn, and I ran up to my dad, and he's like, I already got it done." And I'm like, "Oh, you did?"
Oops.
Well, a little later, he went in with the cows, and he looked at me. He goes, "Wow, your calf is really you really cleaned it up." And I start laughing, and I'm like, "Yeah, I did, didn't I?" And he goes, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Cause I did it in the house in the shower." And he's like, "No, you did not." I'm like, "Mm,
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
know." Just don't look at mom's camera roll.
That's funny. Oh, man. And there's still people, so, like, okay, take what you're saying here in your videos, right? And then there's people out there that really do think that they can be in the house and
Yes.
do those things, and what's your advice for that?
Well, no.
Agreed.
No, I have no, I've had people comment, and they do see that, and then they're like, "Oh, can I have them in my house?" And I'm like, "Oh no, this isn't like all the time." Like I just, and you never see my big, like they still get big.
Mhm.
I feel like that's one thing people get a little confused because they say mini cows, and now with AI,
Oh gosh.
it's like little teacup cows or something that'll be like, I just saw a picture. What was it? Someone posted it, and it was like, "Oh, my 4-pound calf born last night," and they're holding it in their hand, and I'm like, what has this come to?
And there's so many people that think that that's the truth because
Yes, they're like, "That's the
they've
cutest
never seen a
thing," and
cow
I'm like,
before in real life.
"Oh."
Like, yes.
Yes, you don't think about it living in the country, I guess,
Mhm.
because, like, people are familiar, and then people would be like, "Oh, I've never seen a cow before." I'm like, "You haven't?" I'm like, "I just drive down the road, there's cows all, all down."
Yep.
But yeah, no, I have gotten people who ask me, um, but I just, what I say too is they do get big.
And they
They're
make a
not,
big mess. You're not gonna potty train
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Like,
no, no, I've never potty trained one. I don't know, if that's even a
if
thing.
someone has, like, they gotta have the patience of a saint, for starters, and the
Yes,
smartest calf you've probably ever seen, because I
right.
can't imagine. I mean, that I've heard pigs, like, people potty train pigs, but pigs are supposed to be really,
Yes,
really smart.
really smart, yeah.
They're not cows, and,
No.
yeah, cows just go wherever. And it's always
And
like
I
right
don't
after you
think
get them clean too.
Yes, and I don't think I'd ever take the chance. I use, like, the big giant diapers, and I put them on him 'cause I would never take the chance otherwise to unless I'm running right in the house, like, and coming back out. I'm like, "Oh, no." My luck, I'm gonna get them in there, and they're gonna go and if bulls, they they pee a lot.
A lot.
I'm like, they'll sit there for 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," so I could only imagine. The house, yeah, would be a mess, but I would never actually do that, and I don't even know the people who walk I've seen them walk bigger ones in the house, and I'm like, how what do you do to clean that up?"
They'll bucket and scoop shovel
Yes.
and a
Yes.
big old
I'm
mop.
really curious to see the guy have you ever seen the videos where the big dairy cow
Oh,
that comes
yes.
inside? Yes, I'm like,
And it
how
eats
does
with
he
them
get that
like,
mess cleaned up
yeah.
after?
That's
This it
100% commitment to the content he's making.
yes, I
1,000%.
totally agree. He needs like a spare home.
Yeah, right? This is the stage that we have set
This
up.
is my content creating home. We can just pressure wash everything when we
Oh,
leave.
dairy cows are like the worst. Like my jerseys, I have to like clean out, dump all their water every day because it's not by their hay, it's not by where they're eating, and they still manage to poop in their water. Like there's something about them that
Yeah,
is so different than like my regular cows or my Highlands or anything. Like those
I
they
agree.
back their butts up there and just freaking dump it all into the water.
Yep. I have never I got one dairy or one jersey just last year now or close to a year hasn't been quite. But I she just had her calf and it was just raining every day and so I'm like, we'll just keep it kind of in the barn. So I kept her in the barn and I'm like, "Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You're going through a lot of you guys make a mess." And the other side was like fine. And so then I'm like, I just got to open this up. So I opened it up so they could go outside when it's dried up. And still, no matter what, she'd hang in the barn and she'd make the biggest mess of all
Literally.
of them. I'm like going through so many straw bales. I'm like, I gotta keep this clean, but geez.
I agree that there's something about them.
There really is.
It's so annoying too.
Yes, and that was like I was like only a couple days in and I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna have to do something here."
Yep. I did mine in the barn too when I first would get them on their calves. And yeah, it was just like constant cleanup. But those jerseys, let me tell you, I don't even have to like put them in a head gate or anything with our calves. Like I'm able to, the few that we've had to have pulled or issues and they're not on staying on mom, I just put them in the pen and she takes like both of them. They take them right away. They don't care. And then I have another one that I didn't have any calves for her. So she just kept her calf and she's in with the other
Uh-huh.
cows. And I see her letting anyone and everyone nurse on her. So it's
Oh
like,
my
it's
gosh.
free milk bar.
That's so cool. The nursing cows that those are just it's so neat how they do actually work and it's so nice for calves that aren't able to take from their mama or something happens.
Yep. It saves you on bottle feeding. I personally
Yes.
don't enjoy
Mhm.
having, we don't live there right now. So like to have to bottle feed is like a lot of like time commitment and work.
Yes.
So no.
I agree. Yes, I've done a little bit of both, and then when you have more, it's fun when there's one. I gotta say, when you got one little bottle calf, that's all you gotta do. It's really nice. But then when you start getting up in numbers, you're like, this is a chore.
Yeah.
This is still a chore.
Big chore.
Yeah, I'm like, geez, you got to take when you got to take a bucket out. That's when you know there's a lot. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yep, forget sleep in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
They need you.
And someone's gonna do something or
Yep. Awesome. Well, do you have any other good stories or wish we would have known or anything you'd like to share? We're hitting our time on what we
I'm
got.
trying to think. I know I had one more thing in mind, but I my mind slipped so quickly now. I'm like,
Do you have any advice to
uh,
people that are just getting started on how to maneuver through all of this?
Yeah, so actually, okay, I did remember too, and this is one piece of advice I would give, is be cautious with your chondro positive heifers because you need to get a small bull for
Mhm.
them. And no matter what, like it can still be a smaller bull, but no matter their size, they can still produce bigger
Mhm.
calves. I mean, like size you definitely look for, but just in general, you if you're able to get an older bull that's confirmed,
Small calves, yeah.
chondro, yeah, chondro bred to chondro cows are ready, or with calving ease, that's nice. I would always recommend being very cautious in breeding your chondro girls just to make sure no one wants to have the trouble and pulling and stuff like that, or just hurting your mamas.
Right.
You just have to be, yeah, just very very careful on what you're breeding when you start getting mini, because you want everyone to be safe. You want to save you the trouble,
The vet
save the
bills,
cows the
yes.
troubles, and you're I mean, that's they're your babies essentially. When a lot of people are in this business, it's the
Right.
Highlands are their babies. So the safest thing you want to do is just be very very careful when picking your bulls. And I had some, even now I had a bull, and he's having some bigger calves, and I'm like, I think we're gonna have to switch it out. It's just that you just have to
Yeah,
be cautious to that, I guess.
it takes time to grow those non-chondral bulls, and it
Yes.
also, to, like, just go on to what you're saying on that, is, like, you wanna know kinda, like, the size of, like, their parents or, like, what that bloodline
Yes.
represents and the size in it and all of that before
Mhm.
you go get one, because that is a big one, and
Yeah.
finding
And maturity.
Mhm.
Like, cause they still take, they're longer, they take a little bit longer than other cows. It's their full well, they say full maturity is at 3 years, but they still continue to grow.
Right.
But, look at, how they are developing, and they can still be really, really tiny as yearlings. Um, so just always be aware of that.
That's great advice. Great topic.
Well,
Anything else
thank
you
you.
have there? Or did you remember, or is that what you were thinking?
I did. I was thinking of the bulls because I that was the same thing. I've came in and I've seen, he's not a super huge bull, not crazy big, but they can just grow so much in a year too,
Mhm.
because they look small and
Between, like, 2 and
well,
3, I feel like there's, like, quite the growth spurt right in there.
yes, yes, and a lot of times is people don't I feel like people, like, look at their horns, because sometimes people put ages as different, but you can kinda and their all horns grow differently,
Mhm.
but you can kinda judge, the age of your cattle, by how big their horns actually are too, which I've noticed. Because you see some, but then they'll be really tiny, so then they might say they're a year, but if they just have no little horns,
Right.
be cautious to that, because people wanna say that they're younger, so
Mhm.
they look smaller than they are.
Right. Yep. Great
But
advice.
get your measurements.
Get your measurements. Get as much detail on parentage and if they've had
And
calves before.
scams. That was one other thing, I guess scams. There's a lot out there, and same thing, yeah. Get your pictures, ask the silly questions.
Yep.
Do as much as you can, because your true breeders will give that to you. They'll
100%.
FaceTime you, or they'll give you the right information you want. If there's anything that's suspicious, then it's probably is.
Right. Exactly. Like, sometimes those good deals are too good to be, like, actually a true good deal. So, you gotta think about it like that. Like,
Yes, I
know
agree.
what the market is on the cattle right now and what they are actually bringing, because, yes, everyone's looking to get that deal, but is that deal a real deal, or is that someone, you know, scamming like crazy? Because 'Cause they're good. Like,
Oh, yes, I agree.
it's crazy how good they are, and they have, like, their own it you get into it, and like they have their own Facebook groups, and it's just like all like they'll have like I don't know however many accounts, and it's just like them commenting under a different name, and you have all this, and you can like report those groups for stealing pictures from other people's calves or things like that, and Facebook doesn't do anything. But then
Nope.
you say for sale or you say heifer on a post, and they're like flagged. Your
Yep.
Facebook's getting taken away.
Yeah, I totally agree because I've had that, and I'll see people posting me and trying to sell my calves or with pictures of me in it, and I still see I'm like, "They're trying to sell them," but then, yeah, I'm getting the reported post, and I'm trying to do everything right, but, you will have people that, every now and then you'll have a post that goes down or something, and you're like, "The why, like, why does that happen?" But then you go to report them, and it
Yeah,
never goes
it
away.
just stays like their Facebook. They can literally write whatever they want on those posts.
Yep,
Pretty fishy. Pretty fishy.
I agree.
Well, that was a good one. Scams. Yes, people watch what you're buying. Don't send money
That's
without talking to
no.
somebody.
Yes, I think that's a very big thing, and I know a lot of people have come to me after, scams, and they've
Mhm.
lost a lot of money, and then they dream of it forever, and, it is sad to see, when
Yeah.
they're really excited and they wanna do it, and, it's disappointing, so, just find the true people, ask the silly questions, and, um, always get your information.
Awesome. Well, it has been great talking with you. You have been a wealth of knowledge. I've had such a good time with this podcast. But we are reaching our time, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. Anything else you have to say, Sophia, or
I
want
don't
to get
think
out
so.
there? All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and stay tuned for our next week's episode on Horns and Hoofs. Thanks, guys.